but he'll get to actually put his smite on, so that should make this spectate go a little bit faster. No smite on jungle. Alright. There we go. See if they remember what their bans are. Yeah. Then there was Kiana, I want to say? I mean, it doesn't really matter what the order is, as long as you ban the same champions. There we go. Who was their next one? It was Nocturne, something, and then Echo for them. Ah, yes. Renekton and Rengar. Our last ban was Rengar, Kiana. Someone else I was surprised by. Sewanni. That's who our last ban was Sewanni. Took me a while to remember. There we go.
You used to be cool.
Alright, so now we repick the same comp, and we're off to the races. Hopefully I don't forget who they were playing. There we go. Lock in a lot faster because everyone knows what they're doing now. In theory, anyways. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. We got the smite on the jungler now. Hey! Oh, got stew in the beard. Gross. There we go. There's the Senna, the Lapras. Yeah, we're good to go. Garen, alright. Alright, so we'll be on another 3-minute delay. Give us another chance to chat a bit. Now we actually get to take a good look at the Kayn Sion matchup here. So it used to be a thing, if you were playing a top lane Sion, where you take teleport, go steal a jungle camp, let the camp kill you because you couldn't finish it without smite, and then finish the camp while you were in kind of zombie Sion mode, and then teleport to lane for an early advantage. Now, jungle Sion doesn't need to do that, because he's got smite, he can heal up, he should be alright. But his clear speed is for sure going to be slower than Kayn, and his ganks are not going to be as strong as Kayn's. Kayn's got the ability to walk through walls, he's got that little dash, he's got a knock-up. Sion has a knock-up, but he has to immobilize himself to do it, and he has no gap close, so he's not going to be able to put the lane pressure out. What Sion does bring, though, is at level 6, when he gets his ult, he can run straight down a lane and force an engage that basically no one can stop. I mean, Anivia is about the perfect counter to Sion, because you can put the wall up and force him to path where you don't want him to path, or wall him off if he's coming through the jungle. But that's not the easiest thing to do, and with Sion running full speed, that's a little tough. So he's going to have to be quick on that wall to channel Sion somewhere where he's not going to affect the team. Because like the Ashe ult doesn't slow him down, the Mundo slow doesn't slow him down, Sion becomes unstoppable when he's running. The only thing that can get in his way is literally terrain, which luckily Anivia can create. But yeah, so I'm going to give the advantage to Kayn here for sure now that he's got his smite. His ability to clear those farm faster, to clear those jungle camps quicker, should mean he can put pressure out on the map, and Sion's inability to close a gap reliably is going to really affect his ability to gank. So he's not going to be able to get lanes snowballing the same way Kayn will, so we'll see if Kayn can use that to his advantage. Once things hit late game, Sion of course can force team fights, and it doesn't look like Nerul has a huge team fight comp set up, but Kayn on the other hand, red Kayn is an absolute nightmare to deal with, so a decent red Kayn can be very scary. If you do look at the side of Killarney, though, they've got a lot of beef. Like, Garen's a pretty tanky guy. Sion builds a lot of tank. Blitzcrank often has a lot of health in that magic damage shield. They've only got Akali and Lucian. And Lucian's high mobility, Akali is high mobility and has that stealth thing. So they're going to be a tough team to kill and to whittle down. But that seems to be the game plan. If you look over at Nerval's side, they've got lots of poke, lots of harass, lots of range that they can use to kind of kite back. So it's going to be a very long battle of attrition between these two teams if they're going to sit there, between if Killarney can pull the trigger and get a solid team fight off, or Nerval slowly whittles them down somewhere and manages to avoid the multiple engages from Sion and Blitzcrank. So yeah, the reason I was excuse me, really surprised at some of these bands was I'd seen the idea of Kiana and Sewanee being tossed around by Nimmerville as players that could play. So they must have seen that Killarney had Kiana or Sewanee as champions they liked to play, to the point where they had warranted a ban and taking away that option from themselves. Killarney clearly did some scouting, as our main jungle player is really big onto Nocturne and Echo. But he's not playing today, so I'm pretty happy with those bans. Taking those champions out of the pool doesn't actually affect any of our current players, because our main jungler couldn't make it for today's game. Luckily, our team's got the depth that we got people that can step in and pick up that role without much problem. So, and here we go loading in. So my favorite part of the day. Let's do the skin battle. Black Frost and Nivea. No skin, no skin, no skin, no skin. And look at the bottom. Project Akali and Project Lucian. So the skin battle goes over to Killarney. They look better this game. Style points for them. Now, of course, the skins don't actually affect your ability to play in-game, but there is something to be said for doing it in style, right? Check our keystones here. Nivea, of course, running Comet. She hits the stun. The Comet's going to land as well. Senna with Airy, which is a very reliable proc with her Q. And Ash, of course, lethal tempo. So once you get damaged, you can start popping that attack speed off. Kane with electrocute, so he's going to have a little more burst in his kit. And Mundo taking footwork, so he gets a little extra heal and move speed after his first attack. Akali running Aftershoot, so also looking for the burst, which makes sense. Blitz, of course, running Aftershock, because as soon as he pulls and knocks you up, he gets a little burst of extra damage, so why not? Sion using Grasp, which is a great pick on him in terms of his ability to just keep healing, permanently increasing his health, and like that's what Sion does. He just keeps getting tankier and tankier. And so the only problem is Grasp of the Undying, it's every 4 seconds your next attack on a champion, and I don't know if that actually procs in the jungle. So that might actually be an awful pick on him as a jungler, because he'll never get that off except when he ganks, and only if he has one of his laners crowd control them so he can get in. And if you look at their mid lane, Akali doesn't have any crowd control. Top lane, Garen doesn't have any crowd control. Sion's going to have a real hard time ganking and actually getting Grasp of the Undying procs off. So unless that works against like large monsters where he can get the heal and the health on, and I don't know enough about jungle for sure to play that. Jungle's not my main, but if that doesn't proc against large monsters, that might be an awful pickup. Someone in chat knows, lets me know. Lucian's taking Conqueror, interesting. So when he's going for more of a long-term engage, which is interesting. Usually you see Lucian trying to burst, and so I would expect more of like a Hail of Blades lethal tempo kind of thing going off. But with Conqueror, he has to reach 10 stacks, so he'd have to... I guess you can get that pretty quick with Lucian with his passive double tap, but it allows him to heal some damage up, which would be really nice for him. And Grasp of the Undying on Garen makes a lot of sense. Oh, do I have a glitch now? Are we going to have to watch this entire game with Grasp of the Undying on my tooltip? That's fantastic. Super stoked about that. Okay, disappeared. Whew! Yeah, well, Garen makes sense. He can hit Q, just run at the guy with attack speed, silence him, and gain the health and the permanent, the heal and the permanent health. So that's a good pickup on him. Keeping him tanky, keeping him in lane. All right, and we're in. There we go. First item is pretty standard. Oh, actually, let's rearrange our lanes here first. Tanks, of course, going Doran Shield. Pretty standard. Supports, maybe carries, jungles, mids. There we go. Jungle, similar start. If you look at your mids, Akali is taking Doran's shield, which is a great call. It gives her a little more tankiness to survive the early onslaught from a ranged champ. And Nivea's starting Sapphire Crystal, so wants just the mana so she can keep the damage out. Both teams, if you see on the map, are setting up to defend against an invade, so they're watching all their jungle entrances. Neither team's moving for an invade, but both teams have got their defense up, which is good. So we got Steel Shoulder Guard, so you're looking at a Lucian who's going to be a little bit more tanky. And Senna's got, of course, a Spectral Sickle for a bit more damage, so... 80 carries, of course, running Doran's Blade. So very, very solid, very standard itemization there early. Nothing too much going on. This is a chatty Killarney team. Alright, and we should have minions starting right away. And our buffs have spawned. Oh! That was unfortunate. Scion missed his first Q on that jungle monster, and so he's going to lose out on the mana, the ability power, or sorry, the damage from it, and not actually get anything out of it. So blue buff finished, or sorry, red buff finished by Kayn first, so he wins the buff race. Scion is still working on his buff there. You can see he just finished it now. He's moving to Raptors. So mid lane, yeah, Nivea's getting a little bit off. It looks like Blitz hard shoved that first lane in. Oh, he's only got one minion. Oh, Lucian did as well. Okay, so they hard shoved that first wave to try and hit their level 2 first. They're going to try and get a level 2 engage off Blitz, probably. Oh, there's the stun. Kayn is here. Oh, Kayn misses it slow, though. There we go. And there's the flash. So successful gank from Kayn at the 2-minute mark. And Akali has blown her ignite and her flash, and so she's not going to be playing. We're going to have to play a little safer. So that was great pressure by Kayn on her way through to give the lane back to Anivia, who's still almost full health. Kayn, of course, is taking some damage, but we'll see if he manages to kite this blue buff back and get it before he backs. Bottom lane, pretty standard farm fest. Edge is going to Lucian right now. But if you look at the health, you can see that the Lucian has taken some damage in these trades and is slowly getting whittled down. Not by much, but just about 100 health lower than Ashe is. And the CS difference out the waves are reset is pretty close. Oh, there's the first pull. Lands on Senna. Doesn't get her out of the turret, but it'll probably be enough to kill him. No, he gets his heal off. Oh, flashes for it. So Lucian flashes forward, gets the first blood on him, and Blitz is still following and peels off, doesn't get the pull. So Nivea goes to pull the trigger now. She's going to take some minion damage. Nope, just a clean trade. Gets out before the minions show up. Why am I frozen here? There we go. Yeah, so Mundo's taking quite a bit of damage as well. Oh, Kayn has spotted the Scion out, and so backs out before the gank can happen. So it's good timing by Scion to be there in time for the counter gank. But again, Scion doesn't have much pressure, so just sits there. Now, which way is Anivia going to go? That was a nice dodge. Because if she'd landed her... I don't even remember what that ability is called. If she lands that blade on him anyway, she gets to dash to it for free. There we go. Mundo just sitting in dirt and farming up, knowing that Garen can't really do much to him. And actually, if you look at the CS, Garen's got a pretty solid lead because he's having to farm from a distance. But he's keeping in it. It's not too bad. Yeah, Nivea's taking a ton of harass for this Akali. And that's not the greatest time for Anivia to back either, because the wave's about to crash in the mid. So she's either going to get killed under turret, and her egg's going to come out, or she's going to have to give up all that CS. Kelly's up 23-10 in CS right now, which is not awesome. Another pull, this time on the AD carry. Kayn is there, though, so it's going to be Senna and Kayn working together, getting some of that damage out. Man, Senna hits like a truck. But Ashe gets out, no problem. Kayn's there just in time to swing that. So Kayn putting really good map pressure down, arriving just in time to prevent that from being for sure a kill. And lets the AD carry farm up some more, so... Yeah, first blood did, of course, go to Lucian, which is not ideal for that bottom lane, but he hasn't had a chance to go back and spend it yet, so really their lanes are actually still tied. Ashe is going to want to be careful. You see the vision control for the bush is there for red side, and so they have no idea that he's in that bottom bush because they don't have their vision down there. Someone steps too far outside that minion wave, they're going to get pulled. Oh, there it is, and there's a flash, and the knocker by Scion. So he has to use his flash to actually get the gank off, because he has no mobility otherwise. But I mean, hey, if you're going to trade flash for a kill, that's the way you should do it. And they put that gold onto their Lucian, so now he's 2-0. You do not want to see an AD carry 2-0 early game. That's not ideal. Man, that low health caster minion is really bugging me. I was hoping he was going to go get it. So there's a trade. That's what we were looking for. Get the freeze, get the... Come on, get your cannon. Good. And now he misses that minion. There we go. Yep, get out. Yeah, so Mundo's trading well now. He's kind of hit that point where Garen can't do as much to him.
Like you got your dad.
Thanks, bud.
Oh, what's that big guy there?
That guy?
Yeah.
His name's Dr. Mundo. He goes where he pleases.
Does he go everywhere?
He goes everywhere, that's right. So we take a look at our CS here at about the 6.5 minute mark. Top lane's up. Well, Garen is up, I should say, about 12 CS on Mundo. Get some action here. He's going to trade. He's going to take a ton of minion damage if he stays. No, he backs out. Killarney's doing a really good job of juggling that, of timing their trades so that they don't take a ton of minion damage. I was really impressed that he chose to back off instead of following for more damage onto Mundo. And if you look at our jungle, Sion's actually out CSing Kayn, but I know Kayn has had more map pressure. That being said, his map pressure hasn't resulted in assist yet, and Sion's has. So, small-edged Sion there. Oh, Lapras landed that stun just in time to actually probably prevent an all-in from Akali there, so that was good. Mundo's working his way over top side as well. Look at the mid lane, Akali's up 2-1 in CS right now, 43-21. That being said, Akali hasn't backed, so that advantage doesn't actually earn her anything, because she can't use it. But okay, so now they got 2 top. Again, Mundo has no way to get in, and Garen doesn't have any crowd control. Blitz gets the pull onto Ashe. Ashe starts to take the damage side and try to put the heal up, but it's not enough. Another kill onto Lucian. He has gone back and converted his gold advantage into items, and you can see that it's paying some dividends for him. Senna pops her Ghost and manages to get out, no problem, and hits a slow to boot. There you go. If you look at our support story, the advantage is definitely Blitzcrank's favor. He now has 3 assists from the pressure they've been putting into the bottom lane. And Lucian is up, again, twice the CS and 3 kills. So Lucian's doing some solid work down there. A lot of that, again, is off the back of the Blitzcrank, though, right? Every time he gets a pull, that gives him so much lane pressure that he can basically free farm, and Ashe has to play a lot more passively. So Blitzcrank has been making plays this game, and it's been enabling their bot lane to... Oh, Kayn is here. There's the slow. There's one of the slows. Hit the cleaver. There's another slow. There's a smite. There's a third slow. And flash shield go out. So Garen burns his summoners. Oh, Sion wants to pull the trigger. And he gets the knock up. And manages to finish. So there's that ult I was talking about where it gives him pretty solid in. Oh. I'm surprised Garen didn't drop his ult. Oh, his ult was down. He'd already used it. So if he still had his ult, he probably would have been able to get him. But alright, so that's going to be a plate on top. Maybe 2 plates on top. I don't think they're going to be able to finish it, though. The plates are too tanky. Oh, with 3 of them there, they're going to get some solid damage off on. And those turret plates are worth a fair amount of gold. So here goes Blitz. There's the pull. And that is a dead Senna. So yeah, it's all about dodging that Blitzcrank. If they can't dodge the Blitzcrank, they're going down. So his ult is down now, but it's not the ult you have to worry about with Blitz, right? So every time he gets a Q, it's a free kill right now because of the advantage. So they're going to have to be very careful with that. It's going to be a very frustrating thing to play against. They'll play very passive.
Who's that?
Alright, we'll check our items out now. Oh, that's his name's Sion.
Oh.
So Sion has finished his Cinder Hulk, blue enchantment. Kayn has his blue Stalker's Blade, but he has not got his enchantment yet. So that 1 kill on Sion has allowed him to finish his blade, as well as the 10 CS difference, of course. Lapras is not quite down 2-1 in CS in the mid now, but it's still a pretty hefty deficit. The Akali roam actually set her back a bit of CS, but she can afford it. So yeah, the poke lane from bottom is not doing a whole lot right now. Their poke isn't hitting that hard as they've both managed to itemize. You can see Blitzcrank picked up at Aegis of the Legion, giving him some armor and magic resist to help defend. And he's almost upgraded his shoulder guards already, whereas Senna's just over halfway there. So in terms of the race to get your items finished, Blitz is winning that one. So where's our next battle going to happen? Looks like Top's just going to trade a little bit here and there. Man, Mundo's cleavers are starting to really hit hard against that Garen. So they're using... Oh, here it's going to be a 4 versus 2 dive in the bottom, maybe? Senna's going to stay. Bold move. They don't have enough minions now. If they try to pull the trigger now, they're in trouble. So, I mean, if they pulled that trigger at first and just gone for the dive, they might have had a chance, especially if Sion took the brunt of it. But they don't make the call, and so they manage to get off. Kayn is also there, pinging out Akali. So there's going to be a collapse into the jungle. Kayn gets the knockout. Ooh. Misses his spin. Akali hits like a truck, and then Anivia walls him in. So he uses his ult to get out, but it's not going to be enough. And Kayn goes down. So kill in jungle onto Akali. What's up, bud?
You're running out of time.
I'm running out of time. Yeah, I think we might be running out of time. It's 6-0 right now. Lucian's just finished his Blade of the Ruined King, which is a big item spike for him. So bottom lane is even more dangerous than it was before. Garen's trying to close the gap. Mundo's just running. Nope, lands a cleaver and wins the trade. That cleaver, man, it hits. So yeah, Lucian's 3-0. These are going to have to be the focus. They can shut him down. That 450 gold would be real handy. Because you can see it's almost a 6k gold deficit right now at the 11-minute mark. And if you're checking our CS, we're almost at 12 minutes here. So you'd hope you'd be sitting around the 100 CS mark. So far, the only one even close is a Cali at 71. Garen at 68. So Mundo's not bad. He's down 15-ish CS. Well, almost 20 CS now. In the jungle, we're down 15 CS. In the mid lane, we're down 10 CS. So actually, Anivia's done a great job of coming way back on him there. But our bottom lane is 90 to 40 in CS. So Ashe is having a real hard time getting any minions because every time he goes for it, Blitzcrank just pulls him in. And so, and now they're on turret again, and he's not able to farm these under the turret very well. And he's pulled out. And he's dead. There's a nice attempt by Senna to get the shield off, but it wasn't enough. So yeah, Ashe can't farm at all with his Blitz pulling them in. They've had trouble with Blitz a couple times now. This might be something that we look at just banning as a matter of course. Because until you get real good at dodging that Blitz pull, it can be a real nightmare to play against a Blitz who knows what he's doing. This pull is landing this Blitz, sorry, is landing his pulls on the regular. And his Demolish is doing good work on these turrets and getting them plates. So this will likely, no, it won't be first turret yet. They don't have enough minions for it. It's gonna be close. No, they don't do it. Next wave, that turret is going down. It's basically useless at this point, the turret. So it's not really going to offer any defense. If they choose to pull the trigger, they can walk in, two-shot the turret, and then continue their fight. So everyone's just kind of farming up now, waiting for the next major objective to take a look for. No one's made a move for a dragon or a herald yet, but if you take a look at where the vision is, you can see that Nirval's prioritized vision on the top side of the map. They have really good vision through the jungle, through the river. Nothing deep though. You can see that on Killarney's side, they've prioritized river vision on the bottom side, but they also have one of their deep wards in, so they can kind of track our jungler a little bit better. So the vision game is definitely going in Killarney's favor right now. Dragon is a bigger objective than Rift Herald is, generally speaking, and so they've got better vision down there. They got better pressure down there out of that Blitzcrank bottom lane, and they have a deep ward in, which is helping giving them a lot of information on where Arcane is at what point in the game. Alright, so they are attempting to take the red buff. They set it up as a trap. Kayn uses his flash, but he does manage to get out. Oh, but Lucian's long-range ult manages to clean up that kill. Senna gets a nice bind on the AD carry into the turret, but it's not enough to actually get a kill. They'd have to stand there for a bit longer than that. So a nice bait by Killarney to draw them into the red buff. And then manage to burst him down, and that should be a second turret onto Killarney. Yep, there it is. So top lane is still just a kind of a wet noodle tank fight here. Guys just grouping up. You can see that Mundo has bought his chain vest first, which is a good call against Garen, trying to prevent some of that attack damage. But Garen's kind of looks like he's trying to return the favor. He's buying a chain vest, which is an interesting choice because I believe Mundo's cleaver hits for some. Oh no, it does hit for physical. Never mind. So that armor will help block some of that cleaver damage. Not much of it though. It's still hitting pretty hard. Okay, a nice stun by Anivia, and then she drops the ult right away, so if Akali wants to chase her, she has to run through that ult zone. And so that gets her out kind of scot-free there. Costs her some mana, but, you know, rather cost her the mana than have Akali sitting on your face, so. Alright, so first dragon of the game goes down to Killarney's side. They managed to secure the Cloud Drake, so there'll be a little extra move speed on their side. There we go. A little burst out of Anivia, but not enough. And again, he just doesn't have the gap close. I really don't like Sion as a jungler, like just the pick there. Unless you have laners to back him up, you're not going to be able to do much. There, he has to burn his flash, so that's one of his only two engage tools, the other being his ult, both on very high cooldowns. And Mundo just chucking cleavers. So we take a look at our CS match now at about 15 minutes. Bot lane's up 113 to 60, so again, almost double. Mid lane's up 100 to 73, so about 25 over. And the jungle, Sion has actually been farming like crazy. I'm not sure if this is because he's taking some lane minions, because I haven't been following him that closely. Oh! And that is the end of Senna, but sacrifices herself to save the AD carry. And if you look at the top lane, Garen is up, not by much, about 15 CS. So the top lane's still pretty close, other than the assist on the Garen. It's still like a 10 CS, 15 CS game. Yeah, not even taking damage from the minions anymore. They're so tanky. But yeah, you can see the Nibbles being out CS'd in almost all lanes here, which is definitely costing them in terms of items and ability to hold lanes. Alright, here we go. Wet noodle fight. Just trade 100 or 200 damage because you can't do much else. Okay, now Kane's got to dodge this fist. There we go. If he got pulled in there, he might have been dead with Lucian right behind. But Lucian was taking the jungle, so might not be a huge threat. But with Lucian countering the jungle now, that's even less CS to put on the Kane. Kane's going to have a much harder time getting into this game. So Akali uses the minions to get his burst. And oh, Blitzcrank, what a pull. Out of the wall and back to the Lucian. This time, Blitzcrank takes the kill. Sion decides to pull the trigger. Mundo flashes to get back to his towards his turret, but is not nearly close enough. Sion gets the knockup, follows up by Garen, and Garen finishes him off to put a kill onto him. So yeah, this game looks to be solidly in the bag for Killarney. They're up 10k gold at the 17-minute mark. It's just going to be a matter of what it takes for them to finish it off. Ooh. A little harass damage out of the Sion there. So they've got the 2 turrets in the bottom now, and top turrets next. So they're grouping mid now, being the most exposed turret. Oh, there's the pull by Blitzcrank. And you can see, like, man, the amount of damage that comes out of that is ridiculous. They have a pretty good CC chain. Like, once Blitz pulls you in, it's the Blitz knock-up followed by the Sion knock-up, and then Akali is doing damage the whole time, and it's just going to be trouble after that. So Kane comes out, Akali jumps in, is about to burst him to death. He uses his ult, but it's not going to be enough. He's probably going down here. Yeah. Senna almost gets the heal off, but oh, here we go. Mundo wants to put an end to this Blitzcrank. Are they going to finish their kill drought? Are they going to do it? There we go. First kill for Nimril goes to Mundo, and he shuts down the Blitzcrank. So there is, at least they got rid of that threat for the next 25 seconds. Yeah, I would say MVP for this game is going to Blitzcrank for sure. He's been making plays all across this map. I don't think I've seen him miss a pull yet. And every time he missed the Kane once. But every time he lands one, it's resulting in a kill for Killarney. So it's really ruining the ability of the Nurgle team to not fight and farm under turret when you have a Blitz just pulling you out into the team at every opportunity. Oh, so lanes are resetting. You can see Killarney has moved their ward line in nice and deep. That is a fantastic ward line defending their side. They've got vision kind of in both areas where Nurgle will be walking through if they want to rotate to bottom lane. What's up, bud?
What's that red thing there?
That red guy?
Yeah.
His name is Lucian. Oh, and down goes Kane. So while they're countering the blue buff, or try to counter the blue buff, they catch Kane there, and it ends up being transferred to Garen.
What's that?
The blue buff, it's something that helps you in the game.
Oh.
Yeah. Gives you mana regen and cooldown. Not that that means anything to you. There we go. So we get a 2-man bind. Senna pulls the trigger. Ash arrow comes through. They hit Garen again. Meanwhile, Anivia's bound Blitz under the turret, so he takes a couple turret hits. And here comes the endless slows of Mundo. Let's see if they can make this happen. Now, Sion uses his ult. So they hear the train coming. So Sion uses his ult and manages to get in and defend. And now Akali's all on her own. She's going to jump in to try and 3v1. That's a bold move. She's invisible though. Oh, and she manages to pop the AD carry. It's now a 2v1. She flashes forward and almost finishes the... Oh no, she finished the Senna. Almost manages to kill the Senna. But Kane arrives just in time, and now it's going to be a full group onto the top lane turret. And Nivea's split pushing, meanwhile, managed to take the outer mid turret, but her team can't defend without her. They need the Anivia wave clear to push those minions back. So Anivia looks like she's walking back to lane. Luckily, they don't have a ton of ward. Oh, and Mundo gets pulled over the wall and popped. So again, nice ward over the wall gives them vision and allows Blitzcrank to make his move. Akali dashes in on the Ashe, and yep, face rolls her. That should be the end of Akali, though. Between Red, Kane, and the Senna damage. Oh, she managed to get out? Nope, she goes down. Kane gets the kill on Akali, but meanwhile their top inhibitor turret drops. Senna ults through the team. The heal is not enough to keep Kane alive, and so now there is only Senna left on the team. Their inhibitor drops, and Killarney is going for the finish by the looks of it. They have called the last turret. So Lucian is trying to harass the Senna off, taking a bit of turret damage. With their whole team group, that should be enough that they can drop this turret. So turret 1 on the base goes, and they ping back. So the team's got 1 of the base turrets, and now they're backing out again.
Turret 2 times.
Oh, I was talking about those little towers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just seeing the guy with the blue gun because the one with the blue gun was the sword one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't about with the blue guy with the gun. So Killarney has pinged the dragon. They do have a pink ward up still. It's been there almost the whole game, which is a fantastic ward for them. Nirval just pings dragon as well, so we might get some action on that side of the map. Nirval's down, though, like 15,000 gold, so they can't fight. They're going to have to try and hope to take an objective. And they've now been spotted out by that pink ward, which is finally going to drop. But it's done its job. Now that Killarney knows where they are, they can respond to that. Kane can't take the Baron by himself, but he does poke his head in there to see if they're taking it, which they are not. Sion pulls the trigger, uses ult to engage. He manages to get Ashe. Ashe flashes the wall. Beautiful flash to save her life. Isaiah's in there taking some damage, but again, he's Mundo, and he's very hard to kill. Look at how much damage he's put out in there. Look how much damage he's soaked. Akali dives the backline, meanwhile, and takes out the Senna and the Ashe. Kane arrives a little bit late to the fight. Mundo finally drops, and it is a 3-for-0 for Killarney. So Killarney's going to make the ping onto that dragon now, and Nirval has to back. If you look in their base, they've got super minions that are going to start taking out their turrets soon. Akali's not done, though. Akali wants to finish this jungler off while she's there to make sure there's no chance to steal. But now she's in a 2-versus-1 against some of their damage champs. She does use her ability to get out. Oh! Lapras is not letting her out yet, but Lucian collapses and forces her to flash her wall as well. Akali just so... Oh, man, this Kane's feeling bold. He's going to get bursted by this Akali. He's not careful. He has to dodge that. Oh, Blitz gets the pull again. And that is a Nivea. Man, that Blitzcrank. He's been landing everything. So they take the mid turret, they've got the dragon, they're rotating to the bottom. Half of Nirval team's busy fighting super minions back at their base, so it's just Mundo left to defend. And even that's not going to be enough, so they're going to take the mid turret now. More supers pushing in from the top side. Lucian's going to keep farming while his team does the turret. Are they going to get a second inhibitor? It definitely looks promising. Oh, but here comes the fight. Nirval's pushing back. Mundo's in, taking damage. Mundo drops. Not a lot of damage put out for Nirval's side. Looks like Kane goes down, Ashe goes down, Senna goes down. And that should be the game as supers arrive from the top and the inhibitor drops. So they just gotta... There we go. They got minions in, now they can take that turret down. Anivia has spawned, but it's not going to be enough for sure. It's a good ult to kind of get rid of stuff. But Blitz gets the pull again. Oh man, Blitzcrank. Just the icing on the cake for his game. What a phenomenal game by Blitzcrank. And so that wraps up our third game of the round robin tournament. We'll be able to catch us doing our playoff games. Will be Thursday. We're going to be starting at around 4:30. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you Thursday at 4:30.